Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is, wherever you are, welcome to Good Values Podcast. Now, this week I was intending on uploading the second part of my conversation with David Woodfall, but it occurred to me that this would be episode 23 and there are only 24 episodes in this first season of the Good Values podcast. So I decided instead to save the second part of the David Woodfall conversation, being that it's going to be a bit special with all these lovely wildlife photographs that I think it'll be really I just think it'll be much nicer and more aesthetically pleasing for the viewers than most episodes are. So I thought if I saved that for the last episode, it's kind of a special conversation really. The talk that I had with him was really interesting. He told some stories about some of his adventures abroad, and I want that to be saved for the last episode. Now, this episode, I decided to start filming now. I'm part way on a journey to go and see my friend who is quite far up the coast. I'm considering making this a vlog, but I didn't start filming since the morning, so I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes when I get there. I'm definitely going to try and film quite a bit when I get to my destination. I'm hoping that the friend that I meet up with will eventually be a guest on the podcast, but I'm not going to pressure them because I've asked them a couple of times and they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. They said maybe, and I feel like people might be a bit polite when they say maybe and they're trying to spare my feelings because they don't want to just say no, which is fair enough, and I appreciate that. So that is why this episode is just you and I again, and I thought I may as well film it whilst I'm on the road because it's quite interesting to have the car being the vessel for the podcast. It's such a long journey that I can just talk and eat up part of this journey with the podcast subject, which is going to be this week. I'm going to talk to you about I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to talk to you about what's been happening lately. I've been buying some new bits and bobs. One of the things is a watch. I've got a new watch which I really like. I've worn a watch for years. That's because in my car I don't want to have to reach.
Take the exit 11A5.
Sorry, just listening to my sat nav. I don't want to have to get my phone out of my pocket to look at the time all the time, and the time in my car is wrong, the time on the sat nav is wrong. So I thought if I have a watch that's set right, I can just look at my watch. That's one thing that I bought. I bought myself some new clothes. This is not important for the channel, but I bought myself some new clothes. The thing which is important for the channel is that I've purchased a new camera, and I filmed the unboxing of it. I made the mistake of just buying the body of the camera and not the lens, and then I called the company and arranged for a lens to be sent for a really good deal. So I've now got the lens, I've got the camera with me in my bag, and that's going to be part of the documentation of today. The footage is absolutely crisp. I mean, I filmed myself the other night and it was, low light, but still so sharp and beautiful. So I'm looking forward to having that upgrade for the channel. And also, it's going to mean that not only is the quality going to improve for the picture, but I'm going to start doing different things because I have that camera as opposed to using my phone. My phone's going to remain as a secondary camera. It's still great, still takes good footage as far as I'm concerned, but I do want the majority of the footage to be from this new Sony that I bought. I'll put the model name on the screen because I can't remember. It's either EVZ10 or EZV10, I can't remember. But really nice vlogging camera. There we are, I'm coming off in a minute off the motorway, off the dual carriageway, so you have to excuse my sat nav interrupting. Yeah, aside from that, I also... Okay, I'm taking this exit. Sorry, it's just trying to talk about what's happening and at the same time. Now, the other thing that I've purchased is some lav mics, and I can't wait to use those. That's going to be, you know, like the little mics that clip onto the collar of people when they're being interviewed. That means I'm going to be doing some interviews with people, but I'm also going to be using them for myself, where I can set up a camera really far away and then talk while walking along, and you should be able to hear me really clearly. I haven't tested them out yet. I've also got a little, it's called a muff, like a little fluffy cover for the microphone on the camera, so that filming outdoors should be nice and clear audio and none of that interference from the wind, which is not so nice to hear. So I'm really excited about that bit of tech that I've bought. It's really going to improve all the videos for next year, whereas this year's videos I will continue with the phone, and that way there's a noticeable difference when the new year happens. Kind of it'll be everything changes, basically everything improves. I'm going to start doing a bit of a travel vlog around North Wales, because I'd like to promote certain places, like the place I'm visiting today. If I don't film enough to make a video about it today, then I will be returning again at some point in the near future, maybe early next year, and making a travel vlog about the town, and also doing a drawing whilst I'm there. And I'm going to start doing that quite often if I can, as well as starting a vlog about this collaboration that I'm doing with Becky Rixon, and that is something which I've been teasing for a little bit. We've been starting some work. She's done far more work than I have, so I'm going to pull my finger out and start getting some work done, and I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be quite the ink drawings that you see me enjoy all the time. I'm going to try and convert that into a more fine art, contemporary style of painting or drawing or mark making of some kind. Could even be collage, I'm not sure. Something or other is going to occur where I have a body of work. Now, I think we're looking to exhibit early next year, so I'll start to film more process videos. I've done one, I think. Maybe I've done more than one. I know I've done one process video of making some work, but I'll start to do more and more of those, which should be quite nice as a different thing. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know how the reaction's going to be. I need to just start committing to what I'm doing is what I'm going to do on the channel, and just see how the audience reacts. And if it's not favourable, then I'll just partition that for what I do without showing the audience, and I only show the audience my ink drawings or whatever's popular, because I'm going to start doing life drawing as well. So, moving on to that, life drawing. I've asked a couple of people to model as life models for me, and they've agreed to do it, but I think it takes a lot more interaction than what I've done at the moment, because I've just asked them for it and they haven't got back to me with the images. But I think that's because of it's a real trust thing to send someone nude images so that you can do videos on them, and I want to discuss with them how I'm hoping to use those photographs in the videos to protect their identity and to make an educational video. Now, I might make it age protected, I'm not sure. I assume I'm going to have to. The point being is that that's something I'm looking forward to doing, because I really do like life drawing. I've done a lot of it before, as you may know. I'm going to start attending the life drawing sessions again, and I've been trying to contact that model, so maybe if I attend some of her sessions, then it might be easier to negotiate with her collaborating, as opposed to me just filming myself drawing and not showing what I'm actually drawing. I'd like to be able to show the model so that I can break down what I'm doing and why. Beautiful place, by the way. So I can show you that. Look at that, lovely. So until I have that arrangement sorted out with either of the two people who I've asked to be models, or the person who I draw often when I attend her life drawing sessions online, until that's arranged, I'm going to have to just do what I've done before, where I show the drawing, talk about the thought process, and try to share it that way. But I would like to expand upon that. If I can't get a model, what I will do instead is I will use certain photo reference, and I'll basically not be able to share the photo, but I will do some digital work to show what is there, and then try to, I don't know, talk it through that way. Because if I trace the model's form digitally and then do the drawing with physical, either charcoal or pencils or whatever, physical materials, then basically I will be able to do something fairly similar to what I had planned anyway. That's the plan. I'm going to start incorporating digital kind of lines and guides and ideas into some of my videos as well. That's been a thought process that I've had for a while. I think that after Christmas I will start being able to use a green screen, which would be really good for teaching and breaking down bits that I've been learning as far as art making, and also it would be good for performance, because I've obviously done that performing thing where I'm cutting my hair and shaving my beard in order to play different characters that I spoke about a couple of episodes ago. So that's going to be good to have a green screen so that I can start to have overlapping characters, which would be quite interesting. I don't know, it'll be used in several ways, I can imagine, so I'm looking forward to that. And aside from that, that's going to be mainly what is going to be integrated into the videos. It's not going to be a completely different channel with, all kinds of different flashy stuff. It's just trying to improve upon the communication in the videos, and obviously the quality of the footage, which is why I can't wait to show you the new camera. And just having several cameras, like today I've got my phone as one camera. I've brought an Olympus camera that's a bit sketchy, but I think it should be quite interesting for footage, just for little contained segments in a video. And then the main camera, the Sony, which that's always going to be the main camera now. Now I've heard that you can only film for so long. I think it's just over an hour until it needs charging, if it's continuous filming. So that's not as good as I'd like it to be, but I've heard that that's an improvement from the previous model, so whatever, that's just going to be how it is. I'm going to have to be careful basically and make certain considerations to ensure that I've got enough battery. It just means that today, if I run out of battery, I'm not going to be able to film everything. It makes it good that I've got 3 cameras with me at least. Now, what's happening here? Sorry, I don't really know where I am at the moment. This is me just driving along, following the traffic, hoping for the best. It doesn't look quite as bright as it did where I came from. Oh well. Now, I mentioned something about films in my last episode, and it was like I mentioned the episode You're Wrong, film discussion, or discussing film, I think it was called. And it's because I thought this is important to me, to have my voice in the mix, where I've seen other people talk about film. I'm not necessarily as knowledgeable as a lot of the other people, but I'd like to still state my views and see how great the backlash is, or if it is appreciated, which I'm hoping it will be, because I'm not trying to necessarily be as negative as it sounds. Me saying you're wrong is just a way of doing a bit of clickbait, really, to try and get people to look and go, oh, there's drama, whereas in truth it's not really drama. I'm just saying that popularity of films is not what I appreciate. Okay, I just had a phone call, so I had to stop the recording because I thought it could be important, but it wasn't. It was a sales call. Now, here's a little tip for you. If you get a sales call and you're sick of either just not answering or saying to them, like, you know, stop calling me, take me off your list or whatever, what I do, which always works, is when they say, hi, this is so-and-so from such and such, how are you today? I'll just say, this is a work number. That's it. That's all I say. And if they go, sorry, I'll just go, this is a work number. And I'll do it with the tone of voice as if to be like, you've made a mistake. You can't call me on this number, you know. But I won't say that. I won't say you made a mistake, you can't call me on this number. I just say, this is a work number. And they just hang up. It always works. It's the least confrontational thing I can do. And it always makes me laugh. Just because I don't, you know, I used to be like, what are you calling for? You know, I can have a go at them. Whereas now I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have this anger in my day every time I have to address a sales call. So instead, just go, this is a work number. And they, you know, sometimes say, oh, sorry, and hang up. And other times they just hang up. Like just now, the person who called me just hung up. Good, hang up. And that's just a little tip that I thought I'd share. So yeah, if you do it wrong, it won't work. Like if you go, oh, this is a work number, so it's not, and if you kind of like, you know, in and ahhing, then it won't work. Just keep it blunt. This is a work number. That's it. Don't say anything else. No go. Anyway, what was I talking about before that? I think I was saying about how the new bits of tech are going to really improve the channel, the quality of it, the life drawing, the digital stuff. I kind of breezed through a lot of that, but let me think. The other things which I'm considering, oh yeah, the film stuff, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so my opinion on films is not to say I'm right and you're wrong, even though I might title it that way. I'm just trying to get clicks. It's just part of the game, sadly. But the idea is to show what is really good in films and compare it with things that aren't quite so good, that seem to be more modern practices that I just think aren't quite up to standard, whereas the old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but watching some older films do it really well. There are some films that still do really good filmmaking, some directors I should say, not some films. Some directors do good filmmaking, and I'm just not into this degradation in the standard of filmmaking. I just think it's really a bad thing for us to all have to just accept. And the popularity of films is not based on the quality; it's based on the star power. It's really bad. I remember talking to my sister about how I don't care about what actors are in a film, it's about which directors are in a film. And she was saying how, oh well, I'll watch anything with Tom Hanks in it. So I wanted to convince her that I like Tom Hanks as well. You know, Tom Hanks is a really likeable actor, he's a very good actor, but he's not every film he's been in is especially great, you know. So I said to her, have you seen the film where he's stuck in an airport? And she goes, yeah, I didn't really like that one. Well, there you have it. That's pretty much what I'm talking about, is how...
Turn right, High Street, then you have reached your destination on your right.
I'm talking about how even your favourite actor can be in films that aren't necessarily that great. Whereas your favourite director, it will make sense, even if it's not your favourite film, you'll be like, oh, I get why they've made this, and this is, you know, interesting.
You have reached your destination on your right.
Like some Coen Brothers films I love much more than others, but I love most Coen Brothers films, and because you follow the directors. Okay. Shut up now. So I'm in this lovely little town now. So yeah, because I follow the directors, I get a lot better experience out of the films that I choose to watch, and that's just what I recommend, basically. Okay, I'm back home now. A bit of a jump cut there, so apologies for that. I basically drove the rest of the way and couldn't talk on camera because I didn't really know where I was going. It was an amazing day. I did film enough here and there. I'm going to make it kind of a vlog video, but I'm currently I tried to chop up and edit together the second part of my conversation with David Woodfall, but I couldn't get it done in time. So instead I thought I'll do the end of the podcast that I started filming in my car and upload this. So here I am. That day, as in when you saw me earlier driving, that was yesterday. Basically, I got there, I filmed around the town or the village. It was absolutely beautiful. I met loads of lovely people. My friend is happy being on camera, but I didn't film her. So we're going to arrange for her to be on the podcast. She's a fantastic artist. She's working at the moment as well. She makes embroidered work. Absolutely beautiful, really professional. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange with her when she's free. I've got another friend from university, an Italian illustrator who I love to bits, and I'm going to get him on the podcast. I met about 5 people in the little town that I went to who I want as guests as well. So I've got lots of business cards and trying to arrange for people to come on as guests. That's the plan. I went there, I filmed the town, walked around, and there was kind of waterfalls, a lovely train station, beautiful lake, there was swans, there was amazing snow-capped mountains, and there was all kinds of things I didn't film. I filmed inside of a shop with old suitcases. I just thought it was all just beautiful. And then that evening there was a Christmas parade, so I filmed the Christmas parade on my new camera, my new Sony camera, which I'll show you. It has come. It is here. This lovely thing. It's my new vlogging camera. So there it is. The new addition to my filming endeavours. I'm looking forward to getting much better footage, and I've also bought some lav mics, as I mentioned earlier as well. So all fun stuff. I didn't use the Sony for most of the visit though. I only used it for the evening time. I don't know why. I think I was just a bit unsure at first of whether or not it would be worth getting out or whether I should film on my phone, which I'm so used to. So it's so much easier to just access my phone. That will be something which I get in the habit of doing, is having my my Sony in either a pocket or in a camera bag closer to me, because it was tucked away in a bag all protected. But there we are. I will share that footage soon. So I'm really excited to introduce the audience to all of these different creative people who I've met and to share the footage. It's really nice stuff. I'm going to edit it together and upload it maybe over the weekend, maybe next week. I'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'll see how the edit goes. Sometimes it takes longer, depending on what I'm trying to achieve. So until then, I have another video that I've been editing for a while. I'm just going to work out a few of the kinks here and there. I think there's one thing that I need to do to get that finished. It's a video about how I draw on cardboard all the time and why to do that. And I'm thinking about naming it something like Why You Should Draw on Cardboard or something like that. I'm trying to make the titles a little bit more hard to avoid for people who, you know, impulsively click on the clickbait kind of titles. And I know it's a bit annoying. I don't really want to fall into that category of content provided on YouTube, but I do want more views. So how much do I need to compromise in order to try and really spread myself out there a little bit more to be seen and kind of given an opportunity to kind of be known, really. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to kind of grow the audience a bit so that I can sort of get the work out there a little bit more. I really appreciate the audience that I have. I was talking to the people who I met yesterday, or last night I should say, at the Christmas fair. I was telling them about how nice my audience is and how all the comments are always lovely. And basically, aside from that, I am thinking about doing certain maybe kind of videos about books that I've been reading, because some of the ideas in there are really quite interesting. And I'm still working on this video series about cinematography. So that's going to be starting to be uploaded soon. I think it's going to be because I mentioned earlier in this podcast that I'm going to be doing some digital work on top. I've not started that yet. So as soon as I've started that, I'll know how long it's going to take. Whereas the footage, I've gone through it and I know what I'm going to say. The thing is, I've got one sequence sorted. I need to do another one to make sure that the first upload is good and strong. And I don't know how frequently I'll be uploading it. It could be fortnightly, depending on how long it takes to edit. But I'm looking forward to that. All this is going to be definitely more New Year content, where I'm going to be providing a lot more interesting stuff. I've been talking for a while about artist profiles, and I'm still planning on doing that. And I'm talking to artists about having those for their work. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of indigestion whilst I'm talking. I've been talking to artists about having their videos about them, because the podcast is one thing where I'm asking questions, they're giving nice answers for their specific perspective on certain things. But I'd like to really do a deep dive into certain people's practices and their environments and their philosophies, just to kind of get to know them a bit more of a rounded way. So that's what I'm hoping to do and to start filming. I've been in talks with David Woodfall, whose episode will be the last episode of this podcast next week. And he and I are going to be doing a video series, which I'm really excited about. And that'll be based on photography. I don't know if it'll be on this channel, but I'll definitely promote it on this channel. And I will have bits of edits of footage to share with you. But I'm not sure. Maybe he will want me to platform it here. Maybe it's going to be for something else. I'm not sure, but we'll work that out. So I'm excited about that. Anything else that comes up, unless it's really secretive, which at the moment there's nothing really secretive. I've just withheld certain bits of information, like the cinematography series. I don't really want to say what the series is about. Not about, but it's what it's based on, as far as what series it's based on. Because at the moment I'm going to start it on a television series, and then I'm going to move it into cinema after that. Just because one television series specifically, to me, has very cinematic plans for the camera work, as far as where the shot goes to in one shot and how things are positioned. The composition of the scene, I think, is beautiful, and I really would like to highlight that and share it, because I haven't seen anyone else do it. So that's the only thing which I don't share things like what series it is, because I don't think it's as important as it is. The important part of that is that it's about composition, shot composition, cinematography and artistry that I can inject into cinema. That's the more important element of that to me than saying, oh, it's going to be Frasier or whatever. It's not Frasier, but you know what I mean? If I were to say it's this television show, it's not Frasier, don't worry. Nothing against Frasier, but it's not Frasier. So that's that. Okay. Everything else, I'm sure I'll announce next year, but things are happening. It's been a little bit difficult after that tricky October of Inktober drawings with the left hand. But aside from that challenge, I'm now picking up momentum again. Don't forget about the vlogs that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to be doing travel vlogs around North Wales. I'm also going to be doing the vlog about the fine art collaboration that I'm doing with Petra. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with the audience and to see it myself, to be honest. I'll be quite a fan of seeing these videos put together, because my idea for them, I can kind of conceptualize what I'm hoping to achieve. So yeah, I'm excited. Got the new equipment. It's all going to be good. I have at the moment my phone, I have this camera, and I have this camera, which this camera is the one which I mentioned earlier, is the Olympus camera. That's kind of strange footage, but that's both those. I have an iPad, and I might be using multiple cameras in certain shots for certain bits of filmmaking. I tell you what I'm going to do soon, I mentioned this a couple of podcasts ago, is to start to share my art films or bits of them. One of them I'll definitely share in whole because it's only short, but the others I'll just share parts of it unless there's a certain outcry of saying, I want to see the whole thing, which I can't imagine people will. 15 minutes is quite long, and the other one is something like 39 minutes, so that's a bit much, but I'll be definitely sharing highlights for those two. And then the other one, which is basically in the middle of those two, it's only a minute and a half or something like that. It's really short. So that one's fine to upload, and I'll just do a bit of a talk before and after to contextualize what was going on and what happened as far as that film and the reaction. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sorry if it's a bit of a mishmash. I wanted to get the David Woodfall episode edited and uploaded for this evening, but there was just no way of me doing that. I could tell that earlier on. Time was just disappearing too quick, and it was taking too long to go through, get the references and upload them, and that's just how it was. So it's going to be, this episode is the second to last, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching. Share this with anyone who you think might enjoy it as well, and I will see you in the next episode.